What's going on, guys? Mitch here. Today we were checking out the Assos Equipe RS winter jacket. As we can see here, if it's going to focus, there it is, RS winter jacket, size large. This is their 3 of 3 for their spring, fall, summer kind of setup. So light is obviously your spring, or sorry, light is, or 1 of 3 is your summer, your 2 of 3 is your fall and spring, and then this would be a 3 of 3 is your winter. So let's take a look. Pull this guy out of the box. So out of the box, we have the jacket and the card. I always like to show this card. You can pause it and read about the card itself if you want to read, but it's basically just saying it's a jacket. There's a weight. A lot of companies aren't giving you a weight on a jacket, what it's for, the parts, and the uses. So pretty cool, some of the materials and whatnot, but we will call this the Johdah jacket. That's what it's kind of known as. But let's take a look. So right off the hop, this thing looks sharp. Love the colors, love the blue on the shoulders. That just looks so beautiful. I will show this as well. I know I like to do that, so there you go. There's the tag. So there we go. Let's start things off. We've got on the top of the jacket, we've got some intake to bring in some cool air, even though the whole point of this is to hold in hot air. But at the end of the day, when you're working and you're sweating, you need somewhere for cool air to get in and exhaust out on the other side. So that's where that happens. On the top here, we've got that beautiful soft collar. We've got the cover that's going to protect your neck when you're, I guess, or your beard or whatever, or your jersey or whatever's underneath from getting pinched. So we've got a little guard on there. When we zip this guy open, let's take a look. We obviously have a weatherproof zipper, which looks really good. You can see it's all sealed, which is awesome. And maybe what I'll do is I'll zoom in and show that. So you can see with that zipper, it is weather sealed. We have the big tag on there as well, but really good, really sharp. On the inside of the jacket, once we open this guy up, if it wants to open up. Oh baby, Johdah. So on the inside of the jacket, we've got this really cool little colorful display. So Clima code 3 of 3 written right there. The nickname of the jacket is the Johdah, size large. Really cool, nothing too fancy, I guess. I just think it looks really sharp. I will say on the inside, as we can see here, we do have this first little inside kind of column here, the separator, I guess you could call it. So this is going to separate essentially your chest. So when you do unzip this, you can still have a little bit of warmth contained in, which is really, really good, right? Because as you ride, a lot of the time you don't always have the jacket fully done up, but you still want your chin and area nice and warm. So this zips up. It's kind of just like an inside little mini half jacket, which makes a lot of sense. Also very soft and very thin, so that's going to be very breathable, which is nice. I'll zoom in on the material. I think this material actually feels very much like their arm warmers. So to give you an idea, I've zoomed in on showing that. So very soft. It's almost like a little micro fleece, very thin, very breathable, that kind of thing. On the top of the collar behind, this is the same material that's on the inside of their fall and spring jacket. I really like that, and I've used the crap out of those jackets, the Targa as well as the spring fall jacket, use them all the time. So I know what that's going to give me. Really, really, really smart. If we look at the inside of the jacket here, we can see it's a very waterproof material. We have sphere, and what I will do is kind of show this to kind of get that a little closer so you can read kind of what their sphere textile text is. Whatever that is, extremely breathable, blah, blah, blah. The one thing I will say that I have read reviews on is that on the exterior of the coat here, the sewing around this here, I don't know if you can see that or not. They say it looks unfinished. To me, I would disagree with that. It's just some stitching that you barely can notice. The light's shining on it, so it's coming out, but otherwise I'm telling you, you will not see that in real life. So you can also see as well on the top here where this vent is, the Valve Tech diffuser, and I can show that as well. Here we go, if you want to check that little thing out. So the air actually comes in. So as you can see, remember it has that inside layer right there. So this actually comes in on top of that. So if my finger comes through, you can see it right there. So the air comes in on top of this little skirt, if you want to call it that, the chest skirt. And so that's going to keep you nice and cool and bring that air inside the coat into the in a manageable way. So very intelligent design. We've got that nice Assos logo on the top, which looks great. On the bottom here, let's take a look at the waistline. So very similar to kind of how, if we look at the waistline, we can kind of see very similar to all the other jackets. Grippy on the back to prevent it from riding up. It is flexible and stretchy. And then on the bottom, we have that same material that's on the spring and fall jacket to kind of keep some warmth in on the backside, which really looks really sharp, to be honest. On the back of the coat itself, we've got our typical 3-pocket design. 1, 2, 3. I don't know, do they have, yeah, so they've got the top flap here, just like all their Assos stuff on their jerseys, etc., their fall spring jackets, to prevent things from falling out and coming out of the coat while you're riding, so that makes a lot of sense. Something new for me is this little pocket here, a nice little zippered pocket into, that's a very smart little design for keys, wallet, phone, whatever you want to put in there so you know it's not going anywhere. Do they have the little, I don't know if they have the routing for this like the other jacket for the headphone cord. I don't think they do, unless I'm not seeing it. Correct me if I'm wrong, it could be, but usually there's a little spot right here for something to come out of. So, oh well, not the end of the world, but their other jackets do have that. And then on the back here, we have a spot here where you can actually put in something to kind of get a little more heat. As you can see here, very see-through. Just another spot to add some warmth in the back. It's a thermal booster or whatever, but it's just a spot to add some warmth if needed. On the sleeves themselves, we can see there's a couple different materials here. So I can tell you right now, the top of the arm here is much thicker than down here, which makes sense. On the inside of the cuff, we can see no rubber coating like we've seen on some of the other Assos stuff, which is fine. You don't necessarily need it. Remember, you know, if you're wearing this jacket, they're kind of assuming as well you're wearing some base layers. You're not going to just throw this on top of your skin. That'd be weird. But no coatings on the inside of the sleeves, other than that's the fabric that's in a lot of their spring and fall stuff, which I really, really like. Really soft, but very thin design as well. Tight fitting to kind of keep that warmth sealed in. I'd really like to see if I can pull this out and show you the inside of it. So there we go. So this is what it looks like on the inside of the arm. Like I said, it had two different kind of textures to it. So a little bit thicker up top for warmth. Obviously think about it as, you know, your core, you want to be a little warmer. And then as you go down your arm, the heat needs to escape. So that's a really good design. I like that. And I'm glad that I was able to pull that inside out without any issues. So overall, who's this guy made for? Well, for me, it's someone that's riding in that 0 to 7 degrees Celsius range. Below that, I think you're going to need to add more layers and likely a mid layer to this setup. But for me, that's great. That's my fall weather, unfortunately, in Canada, where my spring fall stuff kind of taps out in that 6 degrees Celsius range where I'm starting to get pretty chilly. So this is great. It's waterproof. It's going to hold in the heat for wintertime riding and keep me fit out on the bike. And like everything Assos, it's an investment. You know, it's a bit of a sticker shock, but it is frustratingly good quality. And the craftsmanship that's gone into each piece is out of this world. So really, really excited about this. I will definitely do a long-term review on this to kind of talk about after I've got some time on it. And we will touch base on that later. All right, guys, thanks for checking it out. Talk later. Bye.